Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Is the time to open the promise of space to all and lay the way for generations to come. When our descendants look to the stars, perhaps from a rocky moon or colonies floating in open space, they'll remember this time. When they reflect on where it started, they'll remember this place. And when they honor those first explorers who said, "Let's go," they'll remember these bold steps. We are Blue Origin, and this is just the beginning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Launch Site 1 here in Far West Texas, where for the second time, we have a full manifest of 6 soon-to-be astronauts. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jackie Cortez.
And howdy, I'm Eddie Seifert. It's an impressive group on the rocket today. Dr. George Neild, Jim Kitchen, Marty Allen, husband and wife Mark and Sharon Hagel, and Blue Origin's very own Gary Lai fly to space today.
And here they are shortly, all suited up for that official team photo, looking amazing in their flight suits. We'll take a much closer look at who's on board later in the show. But while we're talking astronauts, the incredible Wally Funk, who flew on our first human flight, was recently awarded astronaut wings by the FAA alongside the other astronauts from our first 3 crewed flights. I was there to see Wally get her wings in DC. It was such a special day, a huge honor for her to finally achieve this lifelong dream. And she was recently awarded the National Air and Space Museum's 2022 Michael Collins Trophy. This award recognizes outstanding achievements in the fields of aerospace, science, and technology. And if all of those awards weren't enough, Wally was also presented the 2021 Hoover Trophy. This trophy is awarded to aviators who inspire a love of flight in others. All of us at Team Blue are so proud of Wally.
Turning our attention to the day at hand, every flight for New Shepard is another step towards our mission of building a road to space. In 2021, we flew 14 people to space across 3 human flights. This year, we expect to at least triple that number.
Discovery,
And
go
how
and
do we
throttle
get
up.
there? With safety at the center. Safety is our highest priority at Blue Origin. It's embedded in every part of the New Shepard vehicle design,
Patriotic.
its launch operation, our culture. And prior to our first human flight, we went through a rigorous program before being certified to fly humans to space.
That's right, Eddie. And the numbers here speak for themselves. 15 successful test flights completed before first human flight, development of our full envelope crew escape system, which we then successfully tested 3 times. We did a successful test flight with 2 parachutes, so that's 1 parachute out, and of course, demonstration of those redundant landing systems on New Shepard.
Something we've
I'm
heard
taking a
time
nap after
and
this,
again from our
fellas.
astronauts is just how moving it is to see Earth from space. It's a reminder that just a few dozen miles of atmosphere, almost nothing, stands between us and the vastness of space. The Earth, our Earth, the one we have, is fragile and must be protected.
And this core value of preserving Earth is foundational to all of our work at Blue Origin. And it goes from the design of our vehicles to how we work with our communities when building, refurbishing,
Nice,
and
for sure.
expanding new facilities. But it's also a longer-term vision focused on utilizing space and its tremendous resources to benefit all of us here on Earth.
And it's an incredibly inspiring mission. One of the earliest technology capabilities we identified to enable this vision was our ability to work with liquid
I
hydrogen.
went to bed 3
We
hours
know
ago,
there's
swear.
water on the moon, and one of the main constituents of water is hydrogen. It's why we design with reusability in mind, why our lunar lander is powered by the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen BE-7 rocket engine.
Right,
and I'm
buddy.
proud to share some footage with you all from a recent BE-7 test.
B7, hey. Oh. Oh. Hello. Very nice.
As you can see from that video, we never stopped working on lunar technologies here at Blue Origin. This BE-7 test is actually just from earlier this year at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Huge shout out to our Huntsville, Alabama test
Absolutely,
team.
what an incredible crew.
The moon is critical to Blue's long-term vision, and we're so excited about NASA's recent announcement of the Sustaining Lunar Development Program. Our lunar capabilities like BE-7 are advancing so quickly because they're directly tied to other programs at Blue Origin, like the BE-3
thanks, Jack.
engine flying on New Shepard today.
That's right, Jackie. The BE-3 is also powered by liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, and because of that, we get to practice critical elements of
Jason?
our future moon landings. Everything that we do today
Nils?
informs all we'll do in the future. It's all connected.
And that next step is today, where we continue to practice our human spaceflight operations. Earlier this morning, our astronauts arrived to the Astronaut Training Center. Here they are in the early hours of the morning here in West Texas, pulling up in those Rivians.
Man, I can't wait to see their smiles. What an adventure in store for them today.
Sharon Hagel looking excited and ready to go on today's flight.
I don't think I would even need coffee. It was just...
Your adrenaline would carry you
I think
through.
that's right. So moments ago, Sarah Knights, our crew member 7, the crew's trainer and guide through the entire astronaut experience, presented a special challenge coin that will fly with each astronaut to space today. And Jackie,
Scary.
you know the only way to get one is to fly on New Shepard. If you're interested in purchasing a ticket on New Shepard, the first step is to visit blueorigin.com and click on our link, Fly to Space. We'd love to provide you with a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Soon here, we'll see the crew exit the Astronaut Training Center, stand by in their Rivian vehicles, awaiting that official go from Mission Control so the astronaut load process can begin. We'll keep eyes on our crew all the way to the launch tower and into the crew capsule. Coming up just shortly here, our crew will be exiting. Let's stay tuned for that.
It doesn't look that bad in real life, Hypersonic. I saw one in Detroit. But then again, everybody says that about the Mach-E, and I also rode in one in Detroit, so, I mean, It's fast. That's about it. All right, turn on the lights there. Yeah, the pill-shaped lights aren't really doing it for me. Well, it's kind of a neat drug. It's based off of an F-150, from what I understand. But, yeah. Yeah, they got forward-facing blues on a truck there. And reds. No, Ford invested in Rivian for the electric car technology, Keeson. It's a production vehicle, hypersonic. You need to pull up NASA spaceflight stream. No, I don't. Nah. I know that Booster 7's moving right now, guys, but I want to...
While we have a moment here awaiting
this.
our crew's exit from the Astronaut Training Center, let's check on the latest with Club for the Future, Blue Origin's nonprofit foundation.
19 separate organizations each received $1 million grants from the Club for the Future, thanks to the $28 million donation stemming from the sale of the first seat on New Shepard.
Stemming.
These grants are making incredible organizations, and one of the groups that I'd like to highlight today is the Brooke Owens Fellowship. A couple of alums recently sat down to discuss the power of that organization in our industry. Here's Blue Origin's B4 propulsion test manager, Sophia Porter, and the space gal, Emily Calandrelli.
Emily, it is so great to connect today. Tell me more about your role and the Brooke Owens organization.
My name is Emily Calandrelli. A lot of people on the internet know me as the Space Gal, and I am part of the executive team of the Brooke Owens Fellowship. I want to find some tangible way to make the aerospace industry better and more welcoming for women and other gender minorities. Because when you are a gender minority in a field like aerospace, oftentimes you feel a little bit left out. And so being part of the Brooke Owens Fellowship, you become part of this support community that you can go to for advice or to vent or just to talk about opportunities and strategies for how to navigate your career.
It's really been an honor for me to be a Brooke Owens Fellow as well. It placed me with Blue Origin for my internship, and I absolutely fell in love with this company. I eventually accepted a full-time job at Blue, and I've been here for 3 years.
I hear that over and over and over again from all of these people who win the Brooke Owens Fellowship, and it just changes the trajectory of their career.
I'm curious what you thought about the experience of being at Launch Site 1 during a New Shepard launch.
There's like electricity in the air because you're there with other people who work at Blue, who've worked on the rocket. And so being able to go there and watch it in person was an experience I'll never forget.
It's been so great getting to speak with you, Emily, and I really am personally very grateful for all that you're doing for the fellowship.
And that's what Club for the Future is all about. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Emily. And thank you, the Brooke Owens Fellowship, for the difference you're making in our industry. What an inspiration.
Truly inspiring stuff. Shortly here, our crew will receive that official go from Mission Control to begin the astronaut load-in process. That should come at about T-minus 45 minutes. Once they get that go, they'll travel down the road to space to the launch pad. From there, it's getting real. They'll ascend the launch tower, stand by in the safety shelter, cross the gantry, and ingress into the crew capsule, where Capcom, Kevin Sprague, will be communicating with them from the time the hatch is closed through the entire flight and all the way to crew capsule touchdown.
Kevin's joined today by Laura Stiles. She's a crew member 7 in training, and before joining the CM7 team, she led New Shepard's flight operations team. Some of you may recall she was sitting in my seat here at the desk on the last launch.
That's right, Eddie. Has big shoes to fill.
I couldn't agree more.
I hope you're ready.
Laura has had a stellar career with us. She's been with Blue since 2013, beginning with the new graduate rotation program, and eventually she became one of Blue's first qualified capsule controllers. It's very cool to see her in this position, and I can't wait to see her lead her own mission as crew member 7.
We are cheering on Laura from the desk today. And checking back in on Club for the Future, today's astronaut crew continued our tradition of making their own postcards on behalf of Club to fly with them to space and back today. This gives each astronaut the chance to share a few words of inspiration for the next generation.
Discovery, go
Some
and throttle
great
up.
art we see here. I love
Look
Gary
at how-
Lai's solar system.
Look at how
I think that
excited
looks
Gary
like
is.
Yeah, no, I think it's a 2-scale drawing of our solar system, and then we've got some inspiring messages of being brave, and you can do it. Absolutely, you all, you can do it.
Come on, Jeffrey, you
All
can
right,
do it.
we're moments away from Mission Control's official go for astronaut load-in to begin.
wait.
While we wait for that, let's
What's up,
take a
man?
quick break.
Let's take a quick break. They're walking out now. Take a break. Hey!
And there they are, our
Yeah.
crew departing the Astronaut Training Center.
Oh, we've got a nice wave there from Jim.
They are moving with purpose. We're seeing that natural energy you mentioned earlier, Eddie.
Oh, I wish I was there with them.
I
Just sign me up.
I'm on the East Coast, Elia. Yeah, it's 8:24 in the morning right now. But 8:24 in the morning is not bad for like a normal person. If I was working a 9-to-5 schedule, I'd be up right now. But I don't work a 9-to-5 schedule. So this is like 4 in the morning for me, dude. Hey, I got cash. What's going on? This coverage is so boggers, my dude. They're running a little bit behind on the account series, so you weren't wrong.
In the driver's seat there, crew member 7, Sarah Knights. If you're just joining us, welcome to Blue Origin's 4th human flight.
I didn't
Our
die,
crew is
Sun
on the
Temple.
move. They received the official go for astronaut load. They're on
Look
the
at how
way
happy
to the
Gary
rocket
looks.
that will take them to space and
Gary.
back.
And a little hard to see from our footage
We're
there,
watching-
but that is
we
my
watch for
favorite
Gary.
parade. The
So,
energy is
this is the guy that
incredible.
designed the rocket,
It's a chance for
which is
Team
cool.
Blue. Look at Gary. Look at how happy he is. But it's a chance for Team Blue, the crew's friends, family, really everyone, to whoop it up and support the astronauts one
Whoop
last
it
time
up.
before launch. Now we're down there with cowbells making noise, but the astronauts, they're focused, they're calm, they look ready to fly.
I love hearing those cowbells, and I'm a little mad at you, Eddie. You didn't bring us a cowbell for the desk.
Nonetheless, we're supportive of our crew today. Did you see those smiles?
So excited for this team. As you can tell, on this road to space, visiting Space on New Shepard is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you'd like to purchase a ticket for
Needs
this
more
amazing
needs more
journey,
cow.
visit blueorigin.com and click Fly to Space.
No, Marcus, I hadn't.
As they make their way to the rocket, let's meet today's crew.
In seat number 1 is Senior Director and Chief Architect of New Shepard, Gary Lai. Gary was one of Blue Origin's first 20 employees and is the architect of our New Shepard system. His contributions to this rocket, this company, this industry have been monumental. He leads by example with humility, compassion, and intelligence, and he's the benchmark for what we humbly aspire to each day at Blue Origin.
Gary?
I know that flying on New Shepard has been Gary's dream since day one. He's worked so
Gary
hard and
needs
so
to calm
long
down.
for this. Emotional day for all of us to watch that dream come true.
George Neild is in seat number 2. He founded Commercial Space Technologies to encourage and facilitate commercial space activities.
George is cool.
But previously, George
like
had
George.
a very big job as the FAA's Associate Administrator for Commercial Space Transportation for a decade, from 2008 to 2018, a role in which he was pivotal in paving the way for the success of commercial spaceflight.
Yeah,
The whole industry thanks you, George. We're honored to give him the view of Earth he's been dreaming about since he was a child.
Yeah,
Now, some have called
George
him
is
the modern
cool.
day Marco Polo. Jim Kitchen is in seat number 3 today. He's a professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, an entrepreneur and world traveler. Today, he'll become the first person to have visited all 193 UN-recognized countries and traveled to space. He's done more than just step foot in these countries. He really experiences them. He's hunted Goliath frogs in Cameroon, interviewed residents of an internally displaced people camp in Iraq, and today he'll experience the final frontier, space. Jim is very much looking forward to seeing a borderless planet and connecting that experience with all of us back here on Earth.
In seat number 4 is legendary entrepreneur, angel investor, and former CEO of Party America, Marty Allen. Marty is a lifelong aviation enthusiast who, get this, Eddie, he soloed his first airplane on his 16th birthday before he had a driver's license.
That's incredible.
Marty's a true adventurer, a lifelong sailor and racer of boats and cars. He was actually released from the Navy flight program because of allergies, but rest assured, Marty, allergies won't hold you back today.
That's right, Marty. Godspeed. Husband and wife Mark and Sharon Hagel are in seats 5 and 6 today. Sharon's an educator and philanthropist, and Mark is the president and CEO of Tricor International, a residential and commercial property development corporation. In 2015, Sharon founded nonprofit Space Kids Global, whose mission is to inspire students, particularly young girls, to excel in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. To date, Sharon has reached nearly an incredible 100,000 students globally.
Our crew is circling the ring road right now next to their live and waiting rocket. So excited for this crew, and I certainly know that Eddie and I are biased, but we're especially thrilled for Gary Lai. He's such an icon inside and outside Blue Origin.
I'm the chief architect of New Shepard, and I've been working on the program from the very beginning. So I joined Blue Origin in March of 2004 as one of its first 20 employees, and that was actually before the New Shepard program even officially began. In that time, it was just a concept, a little bit more advanced than a napkin sketch, and I helped build the team that would eventually design and put it together. When most people look at the New Shepard, they might see the astounding technology.
I'll think about it, dude. Yeah.
To me, New Shepard is about the wonderful team that
I'm not sure,
I've
Goldie. I
had
don't
the
think
pleasure
so.
to work with over 18 years. I'm one of those people, and there are a lot of us at Blue, where opening the road to space for humanity is a calling. As humans, our grandest accomplishments happen because we are explorers by our fundamental nature. There is such a grand space and universe out there with so many resources and so many things to explore. I almost would not know what to do with myself, and I have very few useful skills, I think, that are not related to flying people to space. There's very few jobs, very few professions, and very few places where you have that combination of working on something so important that is at the same time so challenging and so rewarding.
It'll
I
happen
can't
soon,
wait to
man.
fly on the New Shepard vehicle. Everyone we talk to that has been to space describe going into space as a life-changing experience. I don't know how I'll feel, actually, on that date. Obviously, it'll be a cause of celebration, but it will also be a period of a lot of self-reflection. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-career opportunity to follow a program from start to finish to such a major goal. So I hope I will feel that it was as meaningful as the amount of time and energy that we put into it.
It is safe to say all of us at Team Blue are so excited to fly Gary Lai.
Fly Gary Lai.
Hashtag fly Gary Lai.
That's right.
We're thrilled for Gary today. Words truly cannot describe it, and I am absolutely thrilled to say Gary is currently climbing the launch tower in the bottom right of your screen. If meeting Gary is any indication, we're passionate about doing meaningful, historic work here at Blue Origin. Come join Gary, Eddie, myself, and the rest of us here at Team Blue. We're quickly growing across the country.
We have offices and factories in Washington, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Washington, D.C., and California. We've recently expanded to Colorado, Virginia, and Arizona. Big initiatives require the best and the brightest, like Gary Lai, like Jackie, like you. Come work with the smartest people on the planet, solving the most interesting challenges as we build a road to space. Encourage you to visit our website for more details. And as we see our astronauts ascend the tower, let's take a moment to discuss some of the things each astronaut will fly with today. Jim Kitchen is carrying his 10 passports with him. The one with the Ukraine stamp will be in the pocket closest to his heart. He's also carrying a Ukraine flag and an American flag.
Marty will be bringing a 10-foot by 6-foot American flag made to fit exactly inside his flight bag.
Marty's cool.
He'll be hanging this flag in his
Hell yeah.
front yard when he returns home from space. Oh, to be Marty's neighbor.
Sharon will be bringing
Cool.
challenge coins from her STEAM-focused nonprofit, Space Kids Global.
Mark will be bringing a small stuffed drum from Purdue University, his alma mater. Mark actually used to play drums in the Purdue marching band. And fun fact, Eddie, Purdue is home to the world's largest drum.
I did not know that, but boiler up. Dr. George Neild will be bringing numerous patches and other artifacts from his storied aerospace career, as well as his Air Force Academy badge.
And one of the things Gary Lai is bringing with him is a first edition copy of the book, From the Earth to the Moon.
Oh, we like Gary. Oh, we like, yeah, we like Gary. Yeah, that's cool. Yep. Be like Gary. Is that the Gary? It is, Sebby. Yeah, it is. Seriously, it's the Gary. Yeah, man. That's something else or what? Gary is the guy that designed New Shepard, man. That's his design right there. He's going to fly on his own rocket, which is pretty cool. Right, Wheat? Yeah. Takes some skill, huh? Yeah, guys, that's this Gary. That one. Gary, calm down. Yeah, that one. Hi,
Calm
Brimo.
down, Gary.
Calm down. See? Brimo knows.
Alright, I'm leaving now.
All right.
I hope you have fun.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
Watch out for Gary. He gets crazy.
See?
I'm worried he's gonna screw up the stream.
Yeah, Gary's a party animal. All right. Drive safe, sweetheart. I love you.
Love you too.
Commuting. What's that like? That's Gary. No, that's Bremo. Gary's over there. See, he's in the background. He's probably looking at the freaking telemetry right now. I just gotta check the truck. That's a good noise. Thanks for that. Really, really could have done without that. Jimmy. You need to do something with that tear in the universe. Can you not? Louder! Look at how excited Gary is. Did you see? You guys see?
And our crew just exited the...
You guys see that? Helicopter flew by. Gary's peeping the helicopter. See that? He's peeping the Gary's peeping the helicopter. He's one of those guys, and when a helicopter flies by, looks up and stops what you're doing, check the type of helicopter. Be like Gary. Be like Gary. Oh, that helicopter's flying around. What kind of helicopter is that? Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Helicopters are really sweet. You always peep the copter. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You mean everyone doesn't do that? Dude, you gotta peep the helicopter. If you don't peep the helicopter, what's the matter with you? Like, who here is like up in space that isn't like, what is that? That's, I'm more worried about people that don't go and look at the helicopter. You know what I'm saying? You gotten out of the habit, but you live next to a hospital. Oh, okay. Geeson, planes, helicopters, anything that's flying over my head, I will look up. I also get very excited when I see a train. Sometimes I don't show it, but I'm like, ooh, what kind of train is that? Oh, it's that kind of train. Yeah, I like that train. It's a nice train. It's got like 5,000 horsepower. It's pretty cool. Havocs. There you go. Yep. There you go, Nora, right? Yeah, that's good. That means you're sane and curious about things. Should you look? First question, can you hear the engines over the wind? Yeah. If you don't peep helis, you have no soul. Yeah, no, I will always stop and look at any large piece of mechanical equipment or flying equipment that's going by. I mean, that's pretty cool too, Weed. I like that. Favorite MBTA locomotive, F40PH. The F40PH is the best locomotive ever devised by man. It's got 3,000 horsepower, okay? F40PH. Now, you could say that there are better locomotives, but the F40PH is the best locomotive, okay? It's just literally a box. Yeah, Swish, yeah, me too, man. I do that. Everyone does that. I do that with spacecraft, man, all the time. Oh, there's another Starlink going by. Okay, see you later. All right, they're loading them up. Try 5,000. Do Blue Origin employees get a discount? I'm not sure. Probably, I would hope. Yeah, Havocs. Yeah. F40PH, so hot right now. Make a helicopter train? No, I'm good. Hey, Meeps! Don't worry, you're here. Okay. Yeah, STX. I have it open in another tab over here. Let me find it. Yeah, there it is.
Over there.
It's the Vice City shot. Reusable spaceship. Yep, Havocs, that's it. Hey, we gifted the stuff to Meeps. There it is. Meeps has been right there before, guys. Just thought I'd let you know.
Our crew is seated in the New Shepard crew capsule, and crew member 7, Sarah Knights today, is helping them into the capsule, getting them all situated, getting them all buckled into those seats. But Eddie, they've been down here in West Texas for a few days. Yeah. They're very well practiced in buckling those seatbelts.
Ships flown before, boosters flown before. What are they launching?
Yeah, no, our astronauts arrive a few days before their launch.
Up into space and right back down.
Everything about the New Shepard system. They practice harnessing their buckles, getting into their seats, getting out of their seats, what the correct microgravity etiquette is. And it's just an incredible experience. Can you imagine going through that experience with the architect of New Shepard, Gary Lai?
Yeah,
I truly can't. I mean, talk about subject matter expertise. I also, it was so funny, I was thinking about Kevin and Sarah training Gary Lai to go on this experience. The architect of New Shepard, Gary Lai. He's actually right there on the left when you're peering into the open hatch here. Just so thrilled. It's unbelievable to see Gary in that seat.
Absolutely. And what an experience for our astronauts to train with Gary, to hear the stories and the context and behind the whys of how New Shepard is today.
How much does it cost?
And of course about our vision and this
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Blue has never really said how much the tickets cost, but I'm fairly confident it's somewhere in the range of $250,000, somewhere in there. And before people say, well, quarter mil, can't afford that, you will not find a cheaper way to go above the Kármán line. You know? Yeah. Yeah, you will not find a cheaper way to do this, because the next... So Blue's price point is $250, right? From what I understand. You know what the next one up from that is? Dragon and Falcon. And actually Soyuz. Soyuz is above that. Soyuz is just above that at about $40 million. Yeah. About 40 million. Yeah. And then Dragon's above that at like 55, 60 million a seat or something like that. So, yeah. Pretty good price point if you want to go. I mean, granted, those other systems do go into orbit, but we're talking about just getting above the Kármán line here. There's not really much else that gets you up there. And I know people are probably saying like, oh, what about Virgin Galactic? Well, I don't know what their price point is. I'll bet you it's somewhere in here with Blue, I guess. But I don't know, man. I like the strato launching stuff, but if I'm gonna go on commercial space transportation, I want the rocket launch experience. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Virgin Galactic is $350 to $4,000. So yeah, this is probably the least expensive way to get into space, guys. Yeah, that's the least. This is the least expensive way to do it. Assuming it's that cheap, yeah. No, it's really not. Like, I mean, people like to dump on, it doesn't go into orbit. Yeah, whatever. You're not gonna find a cheaper way to get above the Kármán line.
Discovery,
this is by far and away the least expensive way to do it. Hey, Nick. How far along is the next version of Blue Origin's rocket? Yeah, they're super secretive about it, so I can't really say.
For joining us.
Not because I know. I can't really say because I don't know.
Communicators, Kevin Sprogge and crew member 7 in training.
Until Copenhagen suborbitals fly, Human, would you want to ride in Copenhagen suborbitals pod or this thing? I mean, like, no offense to Copenhagen suborbitals, those guys are legends, but also I'll take this.
Experience to space and back.
And we just had a great shot of Gary and his smile, and of course the RSS first step over the hatch. It means,
I mean, the fact that they're doing it by themselves is
this
pretty...
capsule has already gone to space 5 times,
pretty
and
damn
it did
impressive.
so in the span of 12 months. Operational reusability, like today's 6th
and
flight,
Pringlefan had a
is
sub
an
in there
underlying
too.
philosophy
Howdy.
at Blue. It's fundamental to ultimately and dramatically reducing the cost of access to space. I'm just blown away when I think about New Shepard's vehicles being designed for 100 uses. We work towards that goal step by step.
We're at just about T-minus 23 minutes until
I want Blue
launch.
to make an orbital class ship.
While we have a moment, let's take a closer
look
look at today's 4th human flight crew, dubbed the Roaring 20s.
I love that name.
Because, you know, the 2020s have been a model for prosperity thus far.
Astronauts. One of my earliest childhood memories was watching an Apollo launch off the coast of Florida, and it was amazing. I wanted to be an astronaut.
What order do you fasten your heart?
I've been working on New Shepard from the very beginning. I've been involved in every single aspect of the design and production of the vehicles.
I used to parachute jump, and I like the adrenaline rush that you get, and this has got to be off the charts.
Our family has always thought we've been crazy because we do some high experience things, and I think by the time we got to this one, there was a little bit of acceptance that that's who they are, and there's not a whole lot we can say about it.
Having been to all 193 countries and to be able to go to space and see this borderless planet, I think is so meaningful, especially given all that the world is going through right now.
I think space is really our future.
This is so exciting because we're on the edge of a new generation, a new frontier.
We must explore and understand the universe, and especially our local solar system.
This is a new era of the unbelievable, where a teacher from North Carolina gets to go to space.
The day of the launch, when that rocket gets in and you start feeling the power of it, I don't even know what I'm going to think.
Looking out the window and seeing the black sky and the curvature of the Earth is really going to be special.
Here I am with this opportunity of a lifetime, and it's just amazing.
To be able to fly with this crew, and including Gary Lai, who's had such a major role in creating New Shepard, is just very
Gary
special to me.
It's a pretty cool crew.
Are you guys going? Space!
Yeah, let's fly.
I like that guy
The
too,
crew,
though.
the Roaring 20s, are
Let's
in
fly.
the capsule, and that hatch is closed, Eddie. I love the name they gave themselves. An ode, I think, to so many things. This is New Shepard's 20th mission.
That's right.
We're in the 2020s.
And we're...
maybe the roar of that BE-3 engine.
I think it's the roar, but it's also the fact that this is the new era of commercial human spaceflight, and what a time to be alive.
I love it. Let's go with that. It's such a unique shared experience for the crew. The bonds they form here in West Texas will last a lifetime.
Of course.
In a few moments, we'll have a special message for our crew from our Capcom, Kevin Sprague, who you saw just a minute ago. But first, we want to share a piece featuring Kevin in a new segment.
Club for the Future works with students from across the country to provide the chance to ask Blue Origin experts questions about rockets and engines and space, and my new favorite segment, our very first, Q for Blue.
Hi, my name is Haziel Puga. I go to SEAM Academy and I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. Right now in physics, I am studying gravitational energy and mass versus weight. My question is, what is the speed of the capsule on re-entry with and without the parachute? Thank you.
This is a great question because it really shows you the effect of our atmosphere on a spacecraft. The descent phase of flight starts at the very top
See what
of
was
the
behind
capsule's
him?
ascent, called apogee, which happens around 350,000 feet. At this point, the capsule comes to a momentary complete stop and then begins to fall back to Earth, accelerating the entire way, reaching speeds of over 2,000 miles an hour, more than 3 times the speed of sound. Once the capsule re-enters the atmosphere, its wide, flat-bottom shape causes drag. The capsule keeps falling at about 250 miles per hour until the moment the parachutes are deployed. Once that happens, the capsule speed drops to an easy 16 miles an hour, and our soft landing system activates just before touchdown to give the astronauts a nice, gentle landing.
And what an insightful question from Club for the Future. Kevin, thank you for walking us through that. Safe to say, Jackie, that we'll be able to live that right now. We'll see it live, and we'll be able to apply everything we've learned as it's happening real time.
That's right, Eddie, and we're just about 18 and a half minutes away from that moment. Let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back.
I'm getting motion sick? No. Why would I be getting motion sick? No, this is it, Jim. From the orbiting shot, it makes you dizzy. Just does. Yes, yeah, it should be okay. No, I'm not. I don't get dizzy from this shot. Not at all. Hey, Vasi, what's going on? little bit under 17 minutes here. Let's see what happens. Interesting that they have the windshield.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
There's like a retractable vertical awning right here, and those are the windshields for the capsule. They don't have them open today. They've been open on the previous launches, but yeah, notice that they're up today. Hey, Azanku, what's up? 17 minutes. Yep. 7/16 socket, closed, open. The hatch is in the closed position.
If you're just
You can tell
joining
it's closed
us,
'cause of the
we're
way
at
it is.
about T-minus 16 minutes until our 4th human flight. As you can see from these beautiful shots, our crew are strapped in, the hatch is closed, and the tower crew is just doing some final checkouts prior to today's mission, alongside crew member 7, Sarah Knight, standing there in the black flight suits.
And can you imagine their view? These largest windows, some of the largest windows.
You guys know that 7/16 is, for all intents and purposes, 10mm, right? I just thought I'd let you know. It's basically that's basically a 10mm socket. Precisely. It's 7/16 is 10mm. Everyone's does, James. It's okay. I have one right here. Here, take it. Are these flights using full fuel loads? Yeah.
Crew member 7,
Yeah, of
Sarah
course,
Knight,
Nick.
waving to
No,
the crew
can't
as
have
she
it, James.
departs
It's
the
mine.
tower.
I think I saw a thumbs up.
Yeah, this rocket is fully fueled. This rocket only goes up and down. And I know, you don't want to reduce it to its base element, but up and down for this is about 350,000 feet that way. That's a long way. It is fully fueled, but the rocket only has enough delta V to go up and go right back down. But the booster does land, and the capsule is reusable. This booster and capsule have gone into space before. Not orbit, but they've gone into space, which is pretty damn impressive.
Some of the astronauts who have flown on New Shepard before. Coming up here shortly will be the voice of our capsule communicator, Kevin Sprague. Let's listen in.
I'll just fax it to you, Havocs. Why do you just have a 10mm socket lying around? You don't? Oh. Because it's a 10mm socket. You wrote something there, Meeps? Hell yeah, man. That's cool. How's the streaming going, bud? You're on wicked late for me, dude, so I don't really get a chance to peep it that much.
The NS-19 crew, who called themselves the Original Six, and they wanted to wish you well.
It's going well.
20s on your flight to space.
Good, man.
Astronaut Michael Strahan, known as Astronaut Stray, wanted you to know the trip will go by in a flash in the moment, but your memory will make it seem like it was hours.
That's a
Let
real
your senses
thing,
take
kinda.
over. Enjoy the ride. Take it all in, and don't forget to look out the window.
Did you send him a message, Meeps?
Astronaut Weezer, Laura Shepard Churchley, wanted you to know you are confident to go because you have had the
Hell
best
yeah.
training for this magnificent experience. The force you feel on launch is like being in the fastest car you've ever been in, and the pressure on your chest is great, but endurable. Weightlessness is heavenly. The 6Gs you feel on the way back home are thrilling because you won't ever feel that amount of pressure on your body again in your life. Try lifting your arms off the armrest when you're under 6G. This is the best ride you will ever have.
And you know what's crazy?
But it's way too short.
That's,
have a blast.
That's Alan Shepard's daughter that wrote that message that flew on the last mission. Her dad endured way more G's than that. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, hypersonic. It's cool because Shepard
Control.
Churchley. That's Alan Shepard, the first American in space. His daughter flew on the last mission with Meeps and Shad. And Strahan. I don't see why not, Swishio. I mean, the rocket really isn't tested for that, but yeah, I don't see why you couldn't. I think suborbital hops would make more sense with like Virgin Galactic shooting planes off and stuff, right? In fact, I still think that that's what Virgin Galactic wants to do. They want to shoot planes off between airports that just skirt space for a second and come back down. But I don't know. Could be wrong. Meeps, they didn't say your message, man. What the heck's that about? Just Strahan and Shepard, that's it? Fine. Whatever. What about spin launch?
Taylor, wanted you to know you are about to see the universe
as
it truly is. Thoroughly enjoy the experience, and then take this gift of perspective to help make a better world for all of humanity.
Who's on this launch? Bunch of different folks. Big one is Gary. Gary Lai is on there, Jack. He's the guy that designed New Shepard. He's in seat 1 right there. The guy that designed this whole thing, everything you see on the screen. The guy that designed is flying on it. It's not every day that the chief designer gets to fly on their own rocket. And Jim Kitchen. Yeah, Jim Kitchen. Jim's cool. I mean, people with money? Not necessarily. Yeah, D-Pick. Gary, calm down. Calm down, Gary. Hold on. They held it 10 minutes.
It's so cool to see the community of Blue Origin astronauts getting a little larger,
Crew
launch by
access arm
launch,
is
step by step.
retracting.
We had a few messages
Discovery.
there
Stop.
from the previous crew, the original
Squish.
6, and just what perspective. I think I
I'm
heard
not
that
sure.
New Shepard is the best ride ever, too. So I'm going to quote that. We have entered a hold at the moment.
Maverick, it's cool. You
we're
could literally see
gonna
Gary. He's
hang
right
out
there.
Here while we
That's
get
cool.
back to you.
I think that's neat.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Airboris, what's up, man?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Trojan. Big 50 for NS-20, my guy. About 6 peak, Jack. I think Meeps was telling me it's 4 on the way up and 6 on the way down. It says RSS first step, and right above that, no step. Dude, I don't know what to say to that.
Thank you for joining us for
It's
our
about right,
fourth human
Meeps?
flight. Our crew
It
is
sounds like
buckled
fun.
into
I'd
the
do it.
capsule. We're in a brief hold here, but New Shepard did just hit a big milestone in today's operations and went escape enabled. Eddie, tell us about the significance of this moment.
That's right, Jackie. Escape enabled is a pivotal moment in
It's
our
not
flight
painful,
preparation.
Swishio. If it's only for
Earlier,
a
we
second, it's not
talked
painful.
about,
It just feels like you're getting crushed for a
the
second.
full envelope escape system that we
It won't hurt
thoroughly
you. Sustained
tested
6
here in
Gs
West
will hurt you.
Texas, all the way from the launch pad to max Q to near apogee escapes.
How many Gs do
so
F1?
this system enables our mission.
How many Gs do F1 drivers get? F1 drivers pull about that, but you got to remember, those are lateral Gs, so that's left and right. Like as you're driving around the track, right? This is a little bit different. This is positive and negative Gs. So positive is pushing on you. They don't pull negative Gs. Humans can't pull more than 2 negative Gs before it kills you. Or really, really hurts you. Positive Gs, though, humans can take a lot of positive Gs. That's one of the things that they figured out during the Mercury program. Positive Gs is when you're being pushed into your seat. Negative Gs is where you're being pushed forward out of your seat. Or in a plane, blood is going up and down, not left and right or forward and back, right? So because they're sitting in their seats, Gary and the rest of the crew is sitting in their seats and they're kind of sitting looking this way, positive Gs. It's kind of positive and down a little bit, which is fine. You're gonna feel it. Don't get me wrong. I've been in a centrifuge that pulled 4 before. The Mission Space ride at Disney World, yeah, the green variant of Mission Space pulls 4 Gs, and you believe me, you feel it. You're like, oh man, it feels like someone's sitting on you. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You feel it, but yeah, sustained is what'll get you. But this is not sustained for any more than like 20, 30 seconds, something like that. It's not bad. Dude, Mission Space is hardcore. That like, I remember when Bree and I walked into that, when we were at Disney World in 2019, we walked into Mission Space, and like there was all the Disney stuff, and then they opened the door into the ride, and I caught one glimpse of the ride, and I'm like, oh, this is a centrifuge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what did I just get myself into? You were in a 4G negative dive with a MiG-28 at what range? Yeah, maintaining diplomatic relations. I'm like, oh no, this is a centrifuge. I thought this was just some throw. No, it's a centrifuge. And then immediately I was like, okay, gotta practice that breathing. It was, yeah, no, it hurts. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it. You know, it doesn't, I'm not gonna say that it hurts, but yeah. Let me just put it to you like this: if they can't walk up these stairs, you should probably be careful when you fly on that thing. You know, it's easier in these seats because you're reclined. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, positive G's on your body is not bad because that just makes your heart work a little bit harder. Negative G's are what you got to be careful about, because if you think about it, when we're like standing on the ground, you know, you got to get blood down to your toes, right? And then it's got to come back up, right? So when you're pulling positive G's in that reclined position, the blood is all going down to your legs. But all that means is that your heart just needs to pump a little faster to get that blood back up to like your head and stuff, right? It's pretty much designed, your body's designed to do that from the start. It's when you pull negative G's and all the blood goes to your head, you get what's called a red out. Too much positive G's will make you black out. Negative G's will make you red out. And if all the blood stays up here, that means the blood isn't here. And if the blood isn't there, then you got a big problem. That's why negative G's are bad for you. But yeah, it means in these reclined positions, you're gonna pull positive G's, which is fine. It just means your heart works a little bit harder.
New engine for New Glenn.
That's part of the reason why you kind of got to be healthy when you go into space. Like, you really got to, you got to be careful. The G-forces are on re-entry, on launch and re-entry. It doesn't matter if it's this. It doesn't matter if it's Dragon. That's the stuff that'll really mess you up.
With certainty.
It's Gary Day. What's up, Matt?
Believe and are proud of our mission assurance that this BE-3 engine and this New Shepard
okay, the gantry is retracting. We're still in a 10-minute hold here.
Ride to space.
Van Horn is truly such a special place. Every time we're here, we love seeing the signs of support for people.
It's largely an issue of how fragile the blood-brain barrier is. Those blood vessels can only take so much pressure before they rupture. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, Airbus, that doesn't sound healthy. Yeah.
Van Horn grow up.
Just getting going for the day. How's it going? It's going good.
Because this is our home.
So special. Thank you for those special memories and insights, Eddie. We remain in a brief hold here, so let's check out more of those beautiful West Texas views, and we'll be right back.
I rode the Aerosmith coaster, Swish. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I was loving every second of it, man. Mission Space pulls more G's than that. Aerosmith was just fun. Dude, I forgot how much I really enjoy that. Check Disney. Green is the easy mode. Orange is the 2.5 Gs and much longer duration. Dude, we went on the harder one, and dude, it didn't seem like 2.5. It was, I don't know, man. It felt like it was more than that.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, bub, it's a centrifuge. You gotta be careful. But yeah, I like I like the acceleration. It's fun. That's why if we were gonna fly, I'd do this. It's why a space elevator is the best option, but the tech isn't there. That's not right at all. The tech is there, acid paintball. Space elevators make no sense. It makes about as much sense as building a bridge from Wales to Nova Scotia. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it's not that we couldn't do it either. Why? Why not just use a cruise ship or a container ship? Way easier.
As you can see, we currently remain in a hold while Mission Control makes sure all systems and weather are aligned for today's flight. But while we have a moment, let's talk about how our learnings from the BE-3 engine flying today on New Shepard are carried forward into the BE-3U program.
Dread, nice. Well, thanks for your Google Foo Havocs. I appreciate it.
Of American-made rocket engines.
We picked hydrogen for New Shepard so that we could get the learning that we needed for our ultimate orbital launch vehicles. We need the performance from hydrogen for the upper stage.
The BE-3 PM engine is highly reusable, human-rated. It provides a really good opportunity for us to practice.
Since we've been able to fly BE-3 PM on multiple New Shepard flights, we learned a lot about how to operate a hydrogen engine. So now we have taken the BE-3 PM design and optimized it for use in space as a second stage engine for New Glenn. We call it BE-3U.
The BE-3 PM is about 110,000 pounds thrust, and the BE-3U is 160,000 pounds thrust. There's 7 BE-4s that are the booster engine for New Glenn. The BE-3U engine is the upper stage engine, so at about 200,000 feet of altitude, it lights off and takes the payload into orbit. We're engine testing now. We're doing a few design tweaks based on what we've learned, and by the end of this year, we should be up to full rate production.
It is just an exhilarating feeling to watch all of our hard work come together and see that engine actually come to life.
Hold on a second.
We're engine testing now. We're doing a few design tweaks based on what we've learned, and by the end of this year, we should be up to full rate production.
That's nice. That's nice.
It is just an exhilarating feeling to watch all.
That's a big engine. An expander cycle. Wow. That's impressive. That's a big expander cycle engine. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that. So, the BE-3U is an expander cycle like an RL-10. It's about as big as you can make an expander cycle engine, which is insane. That's complex simplicity at its finest, yeah. Rocket Guy, I'm noticing that this one doesn't have the second turbo pump installed on it. It looks like they're using twin shafts. There's two separate power packs. One for LOX, one for hydrogen. Not geared like an RL-10, see? So they have twin open cycle expander, which is... Interesting. Yeah, it's not geared like an RL-10. I wonder what that's about. Yeah, I know, Dread. I know. It's pretty stupid, huh? It simplifies things like an RS-68, right? Yeah. That's, dude. I want to sit here and look at this thing. That's really cool. Better control of the fuel oxidizer ratio. Yeah. What's actuating these things though? Are they? I'm wondering like what actuates what here. Rocket Guy, like how do these turbo pumps move? Obviously the expander cycle, but do they have LOX and hydrogen flowing through this nozzle? Are the black triangles near the bottom thrust vector control. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, see, that's one of the coolest things that I've... Oh, man. Yeah, see, this one doesn't have the second turbo pump installed. That's the mount for it. See last. Okay. Why can't you scale bigger than that? There's only so much surface area that you can use to heat up hydrogen. Still in the hold. It didn't have the TVC actuators on it, Havocs. What are you preparing? We're always preparing. Just go. Just go. What happened to Virgin Galactic? Their first mission, Tolgahan, violated a couple of launch constraints, and then they launched it anyway. Yeah. They, like the FAA said, don't fly this far away from the launch site, and they did. It violated a bunch of launch constraints, so they grounded it after the first flight. It's okay, we got to see... I don't remember the artist's name. What was the artist's name? Caution? Then a big sting came out from the lead test pilot saying things were unsafe. Common? I don't know. I forget the guy's name. I thought it was funny because they were like, and would you fly on our rocket? And he was like, nah, I'm good. So it's still funny. That's still funny. No, it wasn't with the pilot. It wasn't just with Stuckey, man. They flew outside of their TFR. True story. Yeah. They flew outside of the TFR. The FAA said, yep, don't do that. Yeah, nope. And they grounded the vehicle. Did you fast forward the video up to current time? No, I can do that now. Yeah, call it. That happened. But I mean, so did SpaceX, right? No, SpaceX didn't fly outside of a TFR. They misunderstood what their launch license was, and that's why the whole PEA thing is going on with SpaceX. They misunderstood what their launch license was. It wasn't that I will chalk that one up to an honest mistake, which is why the FAA didn't ground Starship, but also at the same time, there was SN-15, and then we haven't seen a Starship launch since. So, yeah, here we are. But Virgin Galactic flew outside of their temporary flight restriction on the mission. They didn't do what they said they were going to do during said mission. Like they said, we're going to fly up to this altitude, we're going to go, we're going to turn around, we're going to come back and land. And they said, when we turn around, we're only going to turn around at this longitude and latitude, and they went way beyond that. They flew outside of their TFR, which is, I don't think I need to say why that, I don't think I need to say why that's dangerous. You don't do that.
Everything we do at Blue Origin, there's nobody on Team
Blue has been perfect with this stuff. They get the paperwork done, which is good. Read what Rocket Guy said. I did.
Andrew, you have such an important role at Blue Origin. So at Blue, when we say safety is a top priority, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, this idea of safety as a priority. And there are a lot of ways to think about this, but I see safety more as a core value that you build a business around. And a business like what we were thinking about for New Shepard and what Blue's doing in general is animated around this idea of safe and reliable systems.
Yeah, they're probably frustrated.
New Shepard went through this extensive test program, right? And we flew for, what, 5-6 years before we put people on board. Are we, how do you know that you're done?
In a certain sense.
Instilling safety into both the vehicle and the how it operates.
Yeah, there are a couple ways you kind of go about it. The first thing you have to do is you have to set goals, safety performance goals, safety performance thresholds, to help you understand when you've met those thresholds. But in any program, you're never really done. You always want to look for opportunities to improve the system.
That's right.
Both operationally, both for safety, both for reliability as well. And so we always have to maintain a humility that comes with flying rockets with these kinds of energies involved. And so we, and the ops team that we're about to go fly this mission, I've never seen a team more diligent, more patient, and the constant awareness and the vigilance required to say, raise issues and make sure they're addressed before we decide that it's time to fly people.
It's taken a team of people to get to this point, to be flying people on New Shepard. What would you say to this team?
I'm humbled to work with this team. It would be lying to say that 3 people who happen to have voted as part of a much larger tech for human flight certification are the people who decided that we're safe enough. Hundreds of people have put their blood, sweat, and tears into this program. Each of them just immensely individually focused on not just the safety of the system, but the reliability of the system. And then there is the work that our team does to kind of partner with them to help them achieve these goals. I am immensely grateful for the opportunity to work with them, and I'm humbled to have an opportunity to kind of lead the safety mission assurance efforts with this team.
Well, tell me this. Would you fly a New Shepard?
I would, and let me just say this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people at Blue that would be excited to fly New Shepard, and I'm happy to count myself as one of them. It's a fantastic system. It's a very robust system. And yeah, if I ever had the opportunity to fly, I'll wink a little bit at the folks making these decisions. I would be super excited.
Fantastic. Well, I hope we get to go one day.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew Lake, for that incredible discussion of New Shepard's safety system.
How's my stream 20 seconds ahead of the official stream? It's because I'm from the future.
To the back.
No, left neck. Go over here.
We are still in
Go
a
to
hole, as you
playback
can see
speed.
from the screen, so we're going to enjoy some shots of the New Shepard rocket in the west
And go to 2 times speed, and you'll get caught up.
Texas desert.
Fast forward to live cast. I am a wizard. Tell us your secrets, future man. Good employee perk if they did that. Yeah. Do they have a launch escape system if the main engine fails? Yep. Oh yeah, it's in the center of the capsule. So if they show an interior shot hypersonic, the center of the capsule has this kind of huge pedestal in the center, and it looks like a table, right? But it ain't no table. The escape motors are parked in there. Yeah, rocket guy, right? Well, it worked for Gary, right? Yeah, the FAA wouldn't let people on it if they didn't have a good way to get away. But then again, you got to remember that launch escape systems are this is going to sound stupid, but launch escape systems are really application based, okay? So there are systems out there that fly that don't have launch escape systems, like an airliner, for instance, right? It really depends on what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. If Blue Origin intended a launch escape system into the design because they're trying to focus on safety for the LES to get people away from the rocket if something goes wrong, right? If they intended for a launch escape system to be in it, well, then they're going to have to test it and show that that system is safe, and then also show that it'll get you away from the vehicle in the event of something going wrong. Someone just pressed the space bar already. It's a hydrolock system, guys. It takes time. The hydrogen makes things a little more complicated. Give them a moment. They are, Ozzy. Yeah. I'd like to know what they do with those SEP SRMs after each launch. Do they completely replace each flight, or do they just check them? Yeah, I don't know. Rocket guy, I would replace them just because of the relatively low cost of doing that. I would do that, yeah. Helicopters don't have a launch escape system. Starship isn't planned to have a launch escape system. And I see people drone on about this, you know, like, oh, this has a launch escape system. Starship doesn't have a launch. The space shuttle doesn't have a launch escape system. They weren't designed for a launch escape system, guys. But you got to be careful. If you're going to design a spaceship without a launch escape system, you best hope that most of the systems on there are redundant. In the case of Starship, that's why they have a lot of engines. Cars don't have launch escape systems. I don't want a launch escape system on a car, dude. I don't know about you. Capsule and
While
this
we
booster
have
are
a moment
reused.
here, let's talk about New Glenn, our orbital program. Recently, we performed an incredible separation test on the world's largest fairing for our New Glenn rocket.
A little bit zero. Hey, New
We're
Glenn
here
fairing.
at NASA's Armstrong Test Facility in Sandusky, Ohio. We took the fairing from New Glenn, the world's largest fairing, to the world's largest vacuum chamber. It's the only place in the world that we can test out this fairing in an environment similar to what the rocket will be seeing.
It's a vacuum test chamber, guys. One of the biggest ones in the world.
Payload fairing is the nose of the rocket. Inside there is the satellite. The payload fairing's job is to protect the satellite as we ascend through the atmosphere.
This is the
one of the
largest
biggest ones in
structure
the
that
world.
has ever been tested here. The New Glenn fairing is 72 feet tall. So when we put that on top of the 26-foot test stand, we're taking up 98 feet of vertical space in the 120-foot chamber.
This jettison test is a huge milestone for us.
We will be firing ordnance that will separate the fairing within the chamber. When it separates, the fairing is going to create this huge breathing motion, and we want to make sure the edges aren't going to come in and hit the payload.
This test is important because it helps us qualify the payload fairing and prove out that we actually do separate as designed. So we'll be looking at things
Yeah,
like
reindeer, we
deflections,
talked about it
stresses.
yesterday. That's Plumbrook, man. Plumbrook's
We have
huge.
done a lot of component level verification. This is really
NASA
the
facility in
culmination of putting
Ohio.
all
It's
those things
freaking
together.
gigantic.
And that's gonna all
I mean,
happen
Starship
in
could
a
almost
split
fit
second.
inside of that thing, dude. Yeah.
2, 1, fire.
Yeet!
It separated as expected. We collected a lot of really good data. After this first shot, we're going to test again. And
Payload
once
attachment fitting.
that is successful, we say yes, the fairing is good to go.
I agree with us. Yeah, the
It
print
is so
up the side
amazing,
looks
Eddie,
neat.
to see New Glenn hardware in test.
We need to
These
go to
moments
B-roll.
are so incredible along this road to space, and it's very special. I'm going to say something nerdy and lame, Eddie. It's very special to be testing New Glenn at NASA Glenn.
That's right.
We love that. We do remain in a hold here to make sure all systems are go for today's launch, but we'll be right back.
This rocket could scale up. It's New Glenn's second stage, man. It's a test article for the second stage, dude. I said that already. She copied you, man. Who came up with the name New Glenn? Doesn't sit right to me for the name of a rocket. It's named after John Glenn. This is named after New Shepard. New Shepard is named after Alan Shepard, excuse me. That's tomorrow, Facha. What about New Armstrong? I don't know. Yeah, when that comes around, it should be pretty cool. New young space plane when? Nice. Nice, human. Why not New Zoidberg? I do not know, my friend. There's a NASA facility in Cleveland, Glenn Research Center. There's a lot of them in Ohio, Facha. Yeah, there's Plumbrook. There's Plumbrook. I think they're all part of NASA Glenn, but they're all around Ohio, dude. Always has been. Oh my god. Well, I wanted to take a nap after this, but oh, they piped the comm loop in just for a second. Can't do that. Was the crew access arm coming back forward, guys? I didn't see it. Uh-oh. Okay. Night. Shut up, man. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. It's Gary's excitement. It just can't be contained. Gary's excitement is like the gauntlet, the infinity gauntlet. It cannot be contained. Okay, they did move the CAA back. You drunk? I got like 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours of sleep, dude. I tried to go to bed at a reasonable time, but me trying to go to bed at a reasonable time would be like a person that works a 9-to-5 job coming home from work at 5 and going to bed at 6. It just really doesn't work that way. Did they mention what the hold is for? No, but they pushed the CAA forward. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, Wheat. I stopped the stream early, too, and still didn't work that way. The crew is sick and tired of Gary making so much noise. Someone left the iron on. How close is the closest toilet? I think there's one over I think
Discovery, go and
maybe
throttle
there's
up.
one in the building or something. I don't know. Hey, Tybot. You're now a dad to 2 7-week-old twins. 4 hours of sleep a night is my new norm. Oh my, hey, congratulations, man. 4 hours of sleep for them two must be worth it though. That's cool. I'm really happy for you, man. That's awesome. That's a freaking blessing right there. That's really cool. Who was on the rocket? People are on the rocket, but that's not important right now. A hospital? What is it? It's a place where sick people go to get better, but that's not important right now. They are totally adorable. I'll give them that. A lot of work, though. There's a porta potty near the bottom of the stairs. They also provided diapers. Oh, all right. Thanks, Meeps. You could have just said there was a porta potty at the bottom, man. You didn't need to say that second part. You didn't need to say that. You could have just said there's a porta potty. Thank you. I mean, it's good to know. You know, dude, Meeps, actually, you know what? Now that we're here, any spacecraft that flies, dude, I always get asked about the toilet. That's literally one of the first questions that I get asked every time, dude. You know, when, like, dragonflies, right? Like, or if I'm watching footage of the shuttle flying around, people are like, where do they poop? I'm like, what? All right. You don't want to know where the toilet was on the Apollo spacecraft. It was not.
We remain in a hold
pretty.
here while Mission Control ensures that all systems are a go for launch. While we wait, let's talk about an exciting new project at Blue Origin, Orbital Reef. Blue Origin, in partnership with Sierra Space, is developing Orbital Reef, a commercially owned and operated space station to be built in low Earth orbit. The Orbital Reef team includes Boeing, Redwire, Genesis Engineering, Amazon Web Services, and Arizona State University, which brings proven capabilities and new visions to provide key elements and services including unique experience from building and operating the International Space
Hold the
Station.
pen? Oh,
Let's take a look.
I'll hold my pen.
There have been dreams.
Give me the codes, Natalia! Give them to me!
Commercial activities in space with growing populations and so forth.
How long did you say the fuse
Now we have access to systems that cost less to launch and land, and we now understand how to build destination systems that last for a long time. It's the commercial world in which advanced capabilities
I
get
have the pen.
normalized and
It's a
become
class 4
part of
grenade.
everyday life.
I want that.
Reef is
I want
a
that.
full-fledged commercial space station.
Think of it as a village. Think of it as many different organizations and people in their own parts of Orbital Reef doing their own activities.
Where all types of companies can come together and do research and or production, and also provide opportunities for tourists to come and just experience what space is like.
It's an ecosystem that will allow ideas to
They
grow
return that
to
technology
germinate.
back to
New
NASA,
fields
Alex,
and
believe it or
areas
not.
of economic arena, new science that we can't even imagine now.
I want this.
Orbital Reef starts with two strategic partners, Blue Origin and Sierra Space. These two together have the fundamental elements that give us both transportation
Dream Chaser.
of
Dream
cargo and
Chaser.
crew and the
Chat Dream
destination
Chaser.
system essentials. In addition, we have a set of expert teammates, which includes Boeing, who will be developing
Don't say
a
anything.
research module.
Don't.
We'll be providing crew and cargo transportation with the Starliner.
Don't.
And
Chat.
when the Orbital Reef
Don't do
is
it.
operational, we'll provide all of the operations and maintenance necessary to sustain the Orbital Reef.
Cool.
Genesis, who are developing the single-person spacecraft for suitless extravehicular activity.
ASU is going to bring together this international group of 14 universities
good
to
spacecraft,
work
Matt.
with Orbital Reef on the ethics and guidelines of research, on how we can bring to bear all of our expertise.
And Redwire, who provide in-space manufacturing.
Leveraging the microgravity environment to push new science, new discoveries, and new commercial applications.
We're working very hard to make sure that Orbital Reef is not just for the entities that have had access to space so far. It's intended to be humanity's
Starliner.
footprint in Earth orbit.
Starliner.
And that means all the nations and companies and peoples of the world.
That's gonna be cool when that happens.
I think that Orbital Reef offers us an opportunity at this point in history to really approach the next frontier as humans and to expand beyond the surface of the planet.
Maybe there's a company that wants to manufacture materials in space. Maybe there's a school that wants to send an experiment up. Maybe there's a nation that's ready to send someone into low Earth orbit to inspire their entire nation.
It's limitless, the implications
I want
of
that.
microgravity research,
Yeah, I want the
development, and
picnic table
manufacturing. Every aspect of
space.
our life, of industry, of science, will be impacted by the discoveries that we make on Orbital Reef.
This unique environment that's only a couple of hundred miles away from us is both transformative and accessible. It's incredibly exciting.
Yeah, me too, Swish.
Our team is absolutely honored and thrilled to have
Those
received an
modules are
award from
quite
NASA
large, Matt.
to
Yeah.
continue advancing our Orbital Reef partners alongside.
I mean, all right. So those modules for Reef, the central modules with the windows on them, those fit inside a New Glenn. That's my guess. If those fit inside a New Glenn, that means those are like 6-meter modules. So 6-7 meter modules, somewhere around there, like these guys in the center right here, those ones. If those are 6-meter modules, fellas, that literally means that one of these 3 window segments is the size of Skylab. Yeah, one of them. That's not a small space station, man. That Reef is freaking huge. Yeah, I mean, look at the people. Look at the shadows of the people in there. I mean, look at it compared to a Dream Chaser. The module's bigger than a Dream Chaser. Way bigger. Starliner is a 5-meter diameter. Guys. Starliner is 5-meter diameter. These are 6-meter modules. Those modules are the size of Skylab. Each one of them. Which is... Skylab's not small. Oh, man, we even got tiny people. Yep. Yeah, Hilnes, well, great minds, right? So if you're on board Orbital Reef, would you be a reefer? Well, they did show grass growing in there, so, I mean... Just saying. The hold is on hold. Oh, no, it's back. Okay. No, they're still waiting, guys. They put the crew access arm in to the expanded position. Yeah, Ryan. I mean, Reef is not a small space station, which is pretty cool. Why are they holding? They haven't said Boucher. They haven't said. Meanwhile, over on the other monitor, SpaceX has moved. SpaceX moved 7. They moved Booster 7 all the way to the launch site, which is pretty cool. Have they given a time frame at all? Launch was supposed to happen at 8:20 Civex. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. One stack. It's actually hooked up to the crane, Vasya, to be honest with you. So, I mean, here, peep it real quick, right? See? They got the crane hooked up to it, so that might happen a lot sooner than you might think, bud. Yeah, Jim, that's right. Okay, when chopstick stack? Yeah, that I don't know. It's going to be placed on the can crusher stand, which is behind NS-20. Well, that's pretty neat. Are the diapers only used for peeing in, or can you also poop in them? Meeps, see what I'm talking about? I would assume both of those things. One prod. Yeah. Also, EJ, I'm Cybex. I never cared much to correct, but since I seem to be around here more, all you gotta do is tell me. Cybex. At the same time, I mean, if you like to get down like that, I suppose.
Thank you for joining us for our 4th human flight, and thank you for sticking with us throughout this hold. I spoke with our flight director, Nick Patrick, earlier this week, and as you know, holds are, of course, a completely normal part of our launch process. Safety, as we've said multiple times on today's webcast, is always the #1 priority at Blue Origin. So we need to continue to take this time to do those checks and make sure this mission is ready for launch today. Stay tuned.
I got the question of why did you not seem cold in the video when it was below freezing? Because they thought it was all acting. Wow. Beefs, I kind of feel bad. I nuked a hater from orbit the other day. Like, I kind of... That's what I did. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Cybex. Yeah, all you got to do is tell me. We good. Beefs, I nuked a hater from orbit the other day. Some guy came into the chat and was like, oh, NASA, never a straight answer. And I go, did you ever stop and think that you're not smart enough for the answer? And then the guy replied with, well, the Earth is flat. I'm like, thanks for proving my point. yeah, just nuked from orbit, dude. I don't know what I was doing, but I was having none of it. I was having none of it. So I was like, nah, not today, man, not today. I kind of felt bad. Like, that happens. Like, I'll be making dinner after the stream. I'm like, man, I was a real dick to that person. Wow. Oops. Another one was, did you see the golden aura protecting the Earth? The magnetic... Oh. Ooh. Ooh. You did good? Grazie. That left a crater. Matt, I felt bad. Like, I don't know that guy. He could have just been screwing with me, but EJ woke up today and chose violence. It's like, oh no. Oh no. He stopped trolling. That was a good one? Oh, well, okay. Could have been kidding. I don't know. I mean, he trolled you. You troll him hard. All right, I'll take that. Will we see the edge from this launch? Nah, the views are pretty good tuning from what I've been told. The views are pretty damn good. Classic got him moment. Like, dude, I felt bad. I'm like, damn. Oops. Doesn't matter if he's kidding, worth it. Well, yeah, okay. He was making fun of NASA, EJ. So I took that personally, you know? Like, what if you told me that it was flat news? Don't make me get another nuke out, man. So I got a whole boatload of them right here. I mean, like, you want to bark up that tree, you can reap the whirlwind, man. I mean, if you want to choose that. Savage surprise. So the counter's going up. They're in a hold right now. The ISO just changed? It's dark. Pretty sure flat earthers are NPCs. Mav, I usually, dude, my thing with flat earthers, man, is I don't mind flat earthers coming in here and saying stuff, dude. I really don't care. As long as they're willing to argue from a point of good faith, then I don't mind talking to them about anything, dude. I'll talk to them about whatever. I'll explain it to the best of my ability. Problem is that most of them are just trolls, or they don't feel like changing their minds, and that's not being scientific at all now, is it? You know, it is what it is, man. And if I even get an inkling for a second that somebody is just not willing to argue from a point of good faith, then I don't care about arguing with them.
Thank you for joining us for our fourth human flight. As you may have seen on your screen, we did release the
hold on
the countdown clock. We're at T-minus 9 minutes and 30 seconds until our fourth human flight. Let's toss it to the rocket and stand by for mission control.
I mean, Deft, I've gotten some skeptical people to change their minds. I've done it. It's very rare, but I've done it. Why is spaceflight so regulated if they're not hiding something? /S, nice PDM. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right. Who's on board? You got a bunch of philanthropists on there, but my personal favorite is Gary Lay. Gary Lay is the guy that designed the rocket. It's not every day that the designer of the rocket gets to fly on their rocket, you know? Yeah, Tolga, like, here's the thing, man. I don't need to prove the science to anybody.
All stations, this is the flight director on Channel 1 and UHF voice for the go pull for terminal count.
All right, here we go.
Go. Booster.
Go.
Ground.
You gonna bring that
Go.
arm back?
Safety.
You don't gotta prove it to nobody. It's the truth. Like, I don't know what you want to
Capcom.
hear. Truth is self-evident, man.
Engineering.
Like,
Go.
Hello.
Copy, all goes. This is Flight Director. New Shepard is go for launch.
Bonjour with me.
Booster, commence the terminal count.
Comment ça va?
We'll go flight.
As you just heard, we are
All
go
right.
for launch for our 4th human flight. We're so excited for the Roaring 20s crew. Let's take a moment and take in the sights and sounds from Launch Site 1 as the minutes tick down on the launch
good.
clock here in West Texas.
Très bien, merci. Oh, I remembered. Nice. I remembered how to do it. Yeah, Bryce, like, whatever. If the people don't want to use their brain, that's not my problem. I can try to help as best as I can, but once again, at the end of the day, it ain't my problem, dude. This is a hop, Ansel, yeah. Impressionnant. I don't know what that means, for sure, but alright, cool. Vin. Alright, 7 minutes out. Why is it a bit charred? Booster's been used before. Oh, merci. Hello?
Okay, as we tick down to launch, Eddie, can you take us through today's New Shepard flight profile?
Tell us about it,
I'd love to,
Eddie.
Jackie. So at T-minus 2.5 minutes, we effectively hand control over to our auto sequence. The flight controllers are essentially hands off. The rocket then gets ready to light the BE-3. Ignition happens at T0, followed by bootstrap and throttle up. Liftoff occurs at T+7 seconds, and that BE-3 engine powers the New Shepard vehicle through the atmosphere. Just before 1 minute, the vehicle reaches max Q, that's maximum dynamic pressure, the point of maximum stress for the structure. At 2 minutes, that main engine shuts off. We call that MECO. And at 2.5 minutes,
I think they
the New
cut
Shepard
off reading the
vehicles separate
messages.
into two, and the astronauts are free to float
annoying,
about the
but-
cabin. The PM reaches apogee at 4 minutes and starts to re-enter the atmosphere due to Earth's gravity. The fins steer back to the landing pad. The drag brakes deploy. The engine restarts for a nice, soft landing. Meanwhile, the astronauts were able to enjoy some microgravity time because the gumdrop shape of the capsule was much slower to re-enter. As that capsule pierces the atmosphere, we see drogues, we see mains, and shortly thereafter, the terminal deceleration system that causes the capsule to land on a cushion of air, that poof of dust. Touchdown, welcome back, astronauts.
It explodes at the ground, Soyuz
Thanks,
style.
Eddie. We're just about T-minus 5 minutes until liftoff. The 6 people on that live rocket are getting close to launching to space. Let's check in with them on the pad.
You know what, dudes? I figured out a good way for the commercial astronaut, who's an astronaut, who isn't stuff. Here's my thing. Anybody that goes above the Kármán line is an astronaut. But there's government astronauts, and then there's commercial astronauts. That's the way Bill Gerstenmaier said it on a press conference about the Axiom 1 mission the other day. I don't mind calling it that. Commercial astronauts versus government astronauts. That's fine with me. That's a totally okay way to say it. And Bill Gerstenmaier was the head of NASA's Human Exploration Operations Mission Directorate for like 30 years. If he says it's that way, I'm cool with it. Commercial astronauts, government astronauts. Boom. Done. If Gerst says it, dude. All right. Look at Bill. All right. This is Bill. Look at that mustache. That mustache doesn't lie. Okay. So that's the way he says it.
Go and throttle up.
See that? The mustache don't lie. Okay. It's true. Yeah, Rex. It's very. The power is derived right from this area. So if he says commercial astronaut, government astronaut, I'm in.
We're
Commercial
just under
astronauts, let's go.
T-minus 4 minutes to launch of the Roaring 20s crew. Eddie, you've been so lucky to be down here in West Texas for many a launch. What's happening across Launch Site 1 at this point when we're so close to liftoff?
Well, Jackie, it all starts at Mission Control. They are focused with final preparations, and it's a laser focus. They are there working through their steps, making sure that their systems are ready for launch. And we're just moments away from that here. Those bit checks, like we mentioned, will start at 2.5 minutes.
And the cool thing about those final checks, I mean, our crew is on board. They're feeling, they're hearing.
Fellas, I'll be really honest with you. Oh, in another hodl. I'll be honest with you. Personally, they could call themselves banana knots for all I care. I don't care. The more people launching into space, the better. You can call themselves whatever they want. I really, really don't give a frick. People have trouble with that compartmentalization. Banana knots. Banana knots. Garlic knots. If we fly into space together, you're no longer a mouse or not. You are a garlic knot, and I will go with you, and we will be garlic knots together.
Thank you for joining us.
Now
As you've noticed,
hungry.
we've just entered what we expect to be a very brief hold here, just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Yeah, usually holding inside a terminal count like that is not a good thing. I have the commercial wings, so that's right. Three hours later.
Okay, that hold has been
I love-
cleared.
oh.
We're at about 3 minutes until launch.
Oh,
we
all right.
understand the
3
Roaring
seconds
20s,
later.
all 6 astronauts on board.
I love
our
roller
4th
coasters,
human
Jason.
flight
I'll ride any
are
roller
ready
coaster.
to go.
Absolutely.
Let's watch and listen as New Shepard goes through those final checks and revs up for today's flight.
Have you tried jiggling the handle? Yes. Nothing in that regard, Dennis. But, yeah, they did tease some new KSP stuff the other day.
And Jackie, as we mentioned, we've now entered auto
Depends on the
sequence,
mission,
so
Ice
this
Mage.
rocket is going to automatically prep itself for launch. I can't wait to see what shows on our screen as the rocket prepares for liftoff.
All right. Meeps, I have a question. Do you even remember when they called T-minus 2 minutes in the count? Do you even remember that? That would have. I'm guessing that was probably a blur. I love the noise. That's cool. Ed 209. Yes. A little bit of ice coming off the vehicle on the right there. Fin check.
With just under 90 seconds to go, those aft fins at the base
I
are
remember T-minus
actuating, going
420,
through
that's
their
about
fit
it.
checks. They
Nice.
provide control authority for the vehicle on
All right.
ascent and descent. At the same time, we should be able to see the engine nozzle gimbal. It will help maneuver the rocket
Okay.
as its
Oh,
primary
hit a
form of
hold
control.
again,
We've entered
guys.
a brief hold in that final countdown. Our teams will assess. We'll be right back.
I don't like how many holds are in here, guys.
That hold has been released. We're at about T-minus 1 minute to liftoff.
Okay. Hold-a-thon. Feeling line.
Ladies and gentlemen,
30
it
seconds.
is time to launch this rocket. Godspeed, New Shepard. Godspeed to our crew. We're handing it over to Mission Control.
T-minus 15. 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1, 0.
Okay. She's flying.
Shepard's cleared the tower.
And liftoff. Mission Control has confirmed New Shepard has cleared the tower and is on its way to space with our 4th human flight crew.
Godspeed, New Shepard. Godspeed, the Roaring 20s. Enjoy this ride.
You can see on the lower left-hand side of your screen, we are gaining speed as New Shepard lifts off towards space.
$3,000 meters.
That beautiful burn on that BE-3 engine lifting New Shepard towards space.
As we hit T plus 55
6
seconds,
kilometers.
we will enter max Q, the point
Max
where
Q.
aerodynamic stress on the vehicle
Peak
is at its
aerodynamic
maximum.
load.
We just confirmed max Q, and that BE-3 engine doing some work, 8,000 horsepower equivalent of it to produce 110,000 pounds of thrust on its way to space.
Okay, we're about 1,000 kph now. Yeah, I see him. See the fins? Yeah. Everything's looking good. Everything looks real good here. You guys, it looked fine.
Beautiful shot of the BE-3 engine there and its colorless exhaust. That's what happens when you mix liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. That is steam
30 kilometers.
powering the rocket all the way up to the top. Here in 20 seconds, the BE-3 will throttle back, shut down, and will reach main engine
3
cutoff.
kilometers
Stay
a second.
tuned.
One foot in kilometers. So the unit translation is 1 meter is 3 feet. 3.3 feet.
Miko,
We got a good separation
way to go,
there.
BE-3. Thank
Or no,
you
that
for
was Miko.
powering our astronauts to
The
space.
separation is coming up here in a second. So 1 meter is 3.3 feet, and
that
then
was our main engine cutoff.
1 mile an
Shortly here,
hour
we'll
is
see
1.6
separation
kilometers
of the
an
crew
hour.
capsule and the booster.
I'm trying to get you guys meters a second and kilometers here for everyone else that doesn't understand freedom units. Okay. Looks like the capsule had a good separation there. Everything looks okay.
At this point, our Capcom Kevin Sprogg will momentarily
Nice,
cue the astronauts to unbuckle their harnesses and start floating around the capsule. Welcome to Zero Gravity, Gary Lai
Okay.
and crew of the Roaring 20s.
They're about 80 kilometers up, still going up. Speed is below 1,600 kph.
Beautiful shot there of the 2 separate craft. George Neal, Sharon and Mark Hagel, Jim Kitchen, Marty Allen, and Gary Lai. Welcome to Zero G. Let's listen in as they float about the crew capsule.
About 95, 96 kilometers up. Speed's below 1,000 kph. $353,000 feet, guys, is 100, or no, that's past 100 kilometers. So they're above the Kármán line right now. So they're over 1,000 kilometers up. Indicated apogee is 351,274 feet. It's a long way. They never show the inside, Sebby. Okay, past apogee. The capsule will start accelerating now. They're closer to Mars than we are. Yeah, that's true. What's the mission objective? This is the NS-20 mission. It is a suborbital flight with people aboard. They just hit peak altitude.
Control, this is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Okay.
Congratulations to all 6 crew. They crossed that Kármán line. They just officially became astronauts.
That's why I have a job,
Absolutely
Sophia.
outstanding. You heard that audio online from Kevin Sprague, our capsule communicator, telling our crew, I'm sure they're having an amazing time up there, but they have to start getting ready to buckle back in. Shortly here, both the crew capsule and the booster will be descending.
That's right, Jackie. So unofficial numbers, but we saw an apogee of 351,000 feet. So definitely well into the Kármán line, well into space. Congratulations, astronauts. The rocket is now reaching, this is the booster portion of New Shepard, is reaching its atmospheric pierce point. It's returning from space. Those control surfaces, those wedge fins, those actuated aft fins are now starting to have a little bit of air resistance to push against.
Okay, that booster's going to come back down and land here. Isn't this supposed to be space tourists?
Maximum re-entry
Commercial
velocity,
astronauts
which
is
is
fine,
just
Phil.
under
You can call
Mach
them whatever
4.
makes you happy, though.
4 times the speed of sound, and it's an incredible booster shape coming back down over the West Texas desert against those Texas blue skies. This is the fun part.
How much of an arc do they fly? I assume it's not straight up and down. It's not exactly straight up and down, STX. Think like if you like threw like a cricket ball like straight up. It wouldn't go perfectly straight up and down. It would move in one direction or another.
The wedge fin,
depending on the wind,
fin,
a couple other things.
Their keep at this point, really doing some work to bring
Cricket
that
ball,
propulsion
baseball. I was gonna say baseball, but
over
then people would have
the
given me
landing
crap.
pad.
So
What an incredible sight out there.
just don't even bother. If you threw a baseball straight up, it's not gonna come right back down.
Here
you know?
shortly, we'll see the air brakes deploy that will cut the velocity of the booster in half. There it is. This is a critical step in slowing the vehicle down before the BE-3 engine is reignited for the final portion of the descent.
People think that me talking about American sports is an excuse to invite them in to tell me how much they don't like it. So I don't really care what you think. So
and the BE-3 engine relights
Come on, baby.
portion of the descent.
Come on. That's nice. Hydrolocks. That's
Touchdown, New Shepard.
pretty damn impressive, man.
What an incredible feat of engineering required to bring this rocket back
pretty
safely.
impressive for hydrolocks,
Reuse it,
man.
all I can ever say, Jackie,
pretty
is
damn
wow.
impressive, man.
Wow, Eddie, truly, no matter how many times we've seen this happen, a live booster landing onto that landing pad will take your breath away. And I have to say, Eddie, the char on the side of that New Shepard booster, there's nothing like it.
Right above that feather looks like, and we see, of course, the New Shepard propulsion module beginning to dump some of the excess propellants. That's a key step for our reusable booster. We'll vent the tanks, we will inert them. That'll maintain the cleanliness throughout and allow
There's
that
people on that, by the way.
booster to turn around.
Just thought I'd
and
let
play.
you know.
Great shot there of the capsule.
You got
There
drogues.
go the drogue parachutes. They've deployed on
Those are
our
the pilot
crew capsule
chutes?
to slow it down.
They'll slow it down a little bit, and when the drogues pop, it'll basically give a trajectory for the main chutes to unfurl. See?
And
See how the
there
drogues are
go
attached to
those
the main
main
chutes when they pull them?
parachutes.
It makes sure they pull the chutes
Those
out
three
and they
mains
fully
will
deploy.
slowly inflate to help slow down the return of the crew capsule.
Perfect.
While the parachutes are, of course, essential to provide a gentle
Why is it
touchdown
impressive for
the
a
crew
Hydrolox
capsule.
rocket?
New Shepard
Dude, deep throttling a Hydrolox engine is difficult. Hydrogen engines are really difficult to work with, and throttling rocket engines is really hard to work with. You gotta understand, what New Shepard is doing is like controlling a rocket in KSP. Not every rocket can just throttle up and down willy-nilly. Creating a deep throttle rocket engine, so like something that can go down below like 20% thrust or something, not 20, 40%. Doing something like that is really, 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 really impressive. That is really hard to do. It's not like a faucet. You just turn it off and on. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. And it's not like KSP where you can kind of control it in real time. That's what makes New Shepard so damn impressive, because it can do that. That is an incredible piece of engineering. The propulsion system is dude, that is like unreal. And Blue themselves has said it's over-engineered. Because man, that is a ridiculous over-engineer for like just a rocket that launches, you know, commercial astronauts like up and down, like tourist missions, right? That is ridiculous for what it is. It's pretty damn impressive. And we got a touch.
Woo! Crew capsule touchdown. Welcome back, the Roaring 20s and astronaut Gary Lai.
That sounds like some happy crew
That's right,
members
Grab.
there. From the sounds of it, maybe all landed back safely
Van
and are
Horn,
doing
Texas,
great. We'll
Taco.
get confirmation from Mission
No
Control
science
here
on
shortly.
board. This is a straight.
What a beauty.
This is a straight commercial mission, dude. Like, you guys can say whatever you want about Blue. They're launching people. They're launching people on their rockets. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that other people aren't either. But you guys are missing the point. More people launching into space is better. Like, don't get confused, man. Eyes on the long-term goal.
Capsule will be on the ground at the landing site to follow that action in just a bit. And hopefully, Eddie,
hopefully.
talk to some of the world's newest official astronauts.
You have to dry out the engine like the RS-25. Goalie, my guess is that it has a purge down system. I think the RS-25s need to be dried because RS-25s are designed to go up into space, into the vacuum after they're launched, and then dry out that way in the vacuum. You know what I'm saying? So this thing, which is designed to come back down and propulsively land, has a purge down system. You can see it right there. They're probably, yeah, it probably has like some type of nitrogen or helium tankage, if I had to guess. It's probably helium, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, as long as they get some type of inert gas in that rocket engine, you should be okay.
To recover them from the capsule. Wow, what a day.
As we've mentioned, it appears to be a safe launch and landing, so
That's right,
absolutely
Tesla.
kudos, congratulations to the mission team and Mission Control.
You also saw that NASA had a pretty sizable budget increase this year. Yeah, a budget that basically just accounts for 8% inflation, Ansel, so it's really a budget decrease, but yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not ideal, man. But hey, whatever. It's alright. We got stuff like this. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. Oof. Bill. That's bad. Alright, guys. Well, fellas, I got a shift that starts in about 2 hours, so congratulations to the NS-20 crew. That's really awesome. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm tired as hell. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm gonna be back here in about 2 hours, dudes. I'm just gonna go take a nap real quick. More trains later? Yeah,